Welcome to How to Partner with Field Team 6. So excited you are here. I'm Paula, and the partnerships team lead at Field Team 6. And if you belong to an organization that wants to start registering Democrats, if you already do that, but you want to expand how you do it, or even if you're just gathering information, here for kicks, you are in the right place. And now I would love to introduce my friend and founder of Field Team 6, the man you all know, Jason Berlin.
Thank you so much. I think I missed my chance to introduce you, our incredible partnerships team lead, Kala Maxym. Kala, and it's Kala. I hear people every day say Carla or Kayla. It's Kala. Kala Maxym has spearheaded a whole new wave of super effective outreach efforts, which is crucially important because we are only as strong as you, our network of partners. So here's how this is going to work. Kala and I will give a very short, fun presentation, the most fun presentation of your life on all the ways Field Team 6 can work with your organization to register hordes of new Democrats. Then we'll hear from our amazing partners about the work we did together and what they're working on now. Finally, we will open it up to the crowd for Q&A. So let me just set the table a little bit. At Field Team 6, you may have heard, our mission is Register Democrats, Save the World. We do this in conjunction with our partners. We need partners to be able to do this work in the effective way we need to do it, just to broaden our reach everywhere. In 2020, we managed to help register 785,000 Democratic voters, vast majority in swing states. And by the end of 21, we brought that total to over 1.5 million. And we will soon find out, any day now, what our new total is. I have been like a kid in the back seat saying, are we there yet? Every day to Corey, our chief strategist and data guru, as he's getting this data coming in from all the secretaries of state as they update their voter rolls. So we can't wait to announce this. We will as soon as we have that number. By 2024, we need to add 1 million more, and we will adjust that number according to what comes in. We do this by partnering with you. And here's the good news. To outsmart COVID, we had to crack the nut of digital outreach. And so working with data vendors, we built a database of unregistered people who have been deemed likely Democrats using age, location, gender, some economic data. The vast majority of them are in battleground states. We have about 11.5 million of these unregistered likely Democrats in our database currently. And we want to share it.
Yeah. All right, so these are our target states for 2023 and 2024. For those of you who don't know it, which is none of you, this is not an off year. This is an election year in New Jersey, Virginia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Louisiana, and other places. So we put together a list of states that we target. That doesn't mean we don't work in your state if you're anywhere else. We work in all 50 states. These states are states we know that we have to target because they have a state legislature race this year. They have a Supreme Court, as in Wisconsin, for example, Supreme Court election. They may have a governorship election or a very important mayor or some other sort of state or local legislature that we're trying to flip or maintain. And then, of course, the ones in blue are those that we are in for the long haul through 2024 when we have House or Senate seats that we either need to keep or flip to Democrats. And I saw something pop in the chat of how do we get lists of unregistered Dems in New York? Yeah, we're working in New York. Oh yeah, Alex. So
yes, we are.
We'll be getting that. We have some data and we are getting more as we speak.
Yes, and we can talk about this map when we get to Q&A if people are interested in that. I'll just say New York and California are key to us retaking the House in 24. These creamsicle colored states are the races in 23. The robin's egg blue are the ones that we're focusing on for both years, 23 and 24, Wisconsin being both, because it's such, an urgent necessity to win this Supreme Court election on April 4th. So this is what we can offer. We we desperately need the help of every partner to reach as many people as we can. We don't currently, Field Team 6 alone does not have the budget or volunteers to reach everybody, and that's where we need your help. To be clear, all of these opportunities we can set up for you for free, except for text banking, which we set up at cost. We do not do fundraising with our organizing. We keep those things separate. So let's talk about our database opportunities. These are the 11.5 million unregistered people who are likely Democrats, vast majority in swing states. We can set up, if you're interested and have volunteers who want to do this, we can set up, or even if you don't, we can set up a text bank for you. That's the one that actually costs money. It costs money to actually send the texts. $1,000 will allow us to text 25,000 people. $2,000 gets you 50,000 people, and so on. Phone banking we can set up for free if you have someone who is willing to lead a phone bank. If they don't know how to, but they want to, we can train them up and set them loose. Postcarding, if you have people willing to write postcards, you don't need a lot of people. If you have just a few who are interested, we can set up a postcarding campaign for you for free. With all of these, we send you the first draft of a script. You can rewrite it completely, or just tweak it, customize it how you like, and send it out. There's also, aside from our database, there are in-person opportunities like voter drives, which we have live trainings for once a month in each of our 12 target states. Canvassing, which we're piloting right now, and social media storming, which we have multiple times a week. This all applies to states that we have targeted in the past or we're targeting right now because we already have data for them. If, for example, you'd like to work in Idaho, we don't have much data there. So the only difference is that, you would have to raise the money to buy the data there. And then we set up the programs exactly as with other states.
We have done that with so many of our partners who've come to us from districts that, especially when we started out, districts that we haven't worked in yet. And, as we say, $250 gets you about 3,300 records. You keep multiplying that. That's a lot of future Democrats that we can help register. And once we own that data, you can use that data as long as you want until those people are registered. We can what we call sequester data for you. So if you want to just really hone in on your local community and really get to know those people, we can do that for you. If you want to help us in a state that you just happen to love but you don't live in, we can do that as well. So we have raised hundreds of thousands probably of dollars for data. And we're going to need to do that in states like New York and continue to do that in states that we've targeted, states that took us by surprise, perhaps in 2022. So again, our data vendors, things change. They are not immune to inflation either. They are not immune to changes in all the stuff that, changes in our lives too. So this may vary a little. It may be a little bit more. It may be a little bit less. And it may determine also, depending what type of data you would like. If you would like, say, just a cell phone number or a cell phone number and an address, that can fluctuate the cost a little bit. But this is a good estimate to get you going.
Right. And if you're wondering about the numbers, let's say you got 3,300 records. That's enough for a good set of phone banks. That would take a while to get through. It's a great start for postcarding campaign, sending 3,300 postcards. Texting, it's a great start. It would take about 4 minutes to text that many people. Texting is very fast. That doesn't mean it's also very effective. So yes, this is the last slide. So there are only 3 steps to partnering. One is filling out the Partnering with Field Team 6 link. It's a form. It just tells us I'd like a phone bank exclusively to Black women in Houston about abortion rights, getting them to harnessing that to get people to register to vote. This is all the goal of all of these is to get these people to register to vote as Democrats. Some states don't record party preference, but we still push those priorities. So just fill out the form, or if it's easier, just email Kala and her team at partnerships@fieldteam6.org. Step 2, we contact you and set up what you want. 3, save the world. Don't forget that last step.
Yeah, that's right. So we've shared a worksheet in the chat, which you can fill out. Again, you can email us as well. And just a quick note, some people have been firing off in the chat, do you have groups here and how can we get data for this? We own the data. We will create those campaigns for you. We will not be able to share that data with you for privacy reasons, and legally we're not allowed to, but we own it and we want to give it to you to use through any of our campaigns. Again, it's free. If you want to set up a campaign with us, any data we have is completely free. So yes, we work all across the country. There is no state that we are not prepared to work in, and we have worked in all of them. So please contact us. Let us know the name of your organization, how many volunteers, what you want to do, and we will get you working as soon as possible.
Yes, we absolutely work with Virginia groups.
Yeah, we do.
And so now, what do you think, Kala? Should we meet our partners now?
We are 3 ahead of schedule. Let's meet them.
All right. With us today, we have Jade Livingston, regional organizer of Progress North, an organization in Wisconsin's North Woods whose mission is to build a statewide, multi-generational, multiracial coalition who can build long-term progressive infrastructure. As an Indigenous member of the LGBTQ plus community, Jade has directly experienced the generational hardships of Northern Wisconsinites, and it has fueled her passion to fight for LGBTQ plus rights, environmental protection, racial and gender equality, and economic justice. Progress North is amazing, and so is Jade. Kala, would you like to?
Yes, I'd like to welcome Dr. Aimy Steele, who is the amazing CEO of an amazing organization, the New North Carolina Project. Their mission is to make politics represent the needs of North Carolinians by investing in communities of color, expanding the engaged electorate, and creating #lifelong voters. Their organization strives to overcome the transactional nature of most political interactions, we know about that take place only during election years, right? Was this an off year? No, not an off year. And seeks to understand what those communities need from politics, not the other way around, which is a lot of what we were talking about on the messaging panel as well. So welcome, Dr. Aimy Steele.
Yay, thank you. Also, let's welcome Jacqueline Westman, organizing director of the national powerhouse known as the Union. As the activism arm of the Lincoln Project, the Union is now over 62,000 volunteers strong, and it is dedicated to saving our democracy from authoritarianism. Jacqueline is a driven super organizer whose 10 plus years of organizing includes serving as field organizer for the Democratic Party of Georgia, helping elect 2 Democratic senators, you know who they are, and communications director for Beto O'Rourke's Powered by People. So we've dropped all the links in the chat.
One more panelist, actually.
Oh, yes.
We're honored to have with us the president of Georgia National Organization for Women, Triana Arnold-James. So NOW is the largest organization of feminist grassroots activists in the nation. And it takes action to promote feminist ideals, eliminate discrimination, and achieve equal rights for all women and girls. And Triana is not only a tireless political advocate, she's also a mother, a U.S. Army veteran, and she holds a doctorate. In 2018, Triana ran for lieutenant governor and continues to do all she can to make positive change in Georgia. So we're just I know she's here, we're just trying to find her, and we will bring her on stage as soon as we can.
It's a big dramatic reveal. She's wonderful.
I think maybe, Triana, if you could start your video, then we'll be able to show you. I believe that's
excellent.
But keeping us from highlighting you. So there we go.
Yay.
My wife kind of spotty, so hopefully I can get through this. So
Great, thank
can you all see me?
Yes, thank you for
Yes.
joining us. Really appreciate it.
It's a little iffy. It's a little iffy, but we'll try it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. So
All right.
I think she can call us. She can take her video off now that she's
Yeah,
fine.
if you want to take your video off and just so we can hear you better, that'll be great. But now we've got you spotlit. So first, we would love to hear from Dr. Aimy Steele about the amazing work that New North Carolina Project has done and did together in the last cycle. So could you please tell us a little bit about that, how we met and what we made happen?
Sure. So I first of all appreciate you all. Thank you so much for this partnership and for all the things that you all do. I want to say that the thing that kind of stood out to me with your partnership and your organization is the ability to kind of bring it all together in a concise and clear manner for us, or for me as a partner. Our organization consisted of about 20 staff members who were field team organizers and regional organizers, and then also several part-time staff and our executive leadership team. And one of the things we needed was really a partner who could help us with our texting and also outreach for voter registration. It's very difficult to register voters in North Carolina, meaning that we have so many that are already registered. We also have a convoluted process. And so we've spent really all of our process or time trying to help make that process a little bit more smoother for our constituents. And we know there are a lot of Black and brown people who are not registered to vote, as well as a lot of Black and brown people who are not engaged in voting. So the organizations were founded based on the fact that we had 1 million plus Black and brown people who were eligible to vote and or not, or eligible to register to vote, but weren't and didn't in the 2020 election. So I just want to say I appreciated the ability that Field Team 6 was able to help us, the infrastructure of setting up the text messaging campaign. We were able to, with our partnership and a couple of other partnerships, but primarily Field Team 6, send 2.2 million texts to our constituents. We're still waiting on the numbers of how many were actually registered to vote, but obviously that's something that's coming. And then we did make about 136,000 phone calls, knocked about 60,000 doors. So we're a heavy field organization. And I'm excited about the work of 24. We're going through some restructuring right now. So, that's a little bit of a process. But I will say that overall, I definitely appreciated this organization for helping us through, getting our field up and running.
I thank you so much for that. I just want to say how grateful I am personally, and Field Team 6 is for you're coming in and bringing not only the resources that allowed us with you to text our entire list of every single unregistered likely Democrat in North Carolina. Getting a little rusty with my voice. Sorry. But your team also is one of the few that rewrote our script from scratch and to great effect, to really great effect. I mean, it was the most controversial scripts that we've had. And we're all for it. We're there for it, and we're there to support you and be of service. And they were great. Those scripts worked terrifically. They were really honed into the issues of the voters we were reaching, and got people's attention, which it cuts through the noise. It's such a valuable thing. So appreciate you for just all the heart and resources and creativity you brought to this.
Such an important point about being able to edit the scripts. I think, I've heard from a lot of partners who said, that's one thing that really was stopping us with another group is we had to use their scripts. And we feel very much that your constituents better than we do. And so, we're really interested in hearing what you have to say.
Yes. And North Carolina is just so purple. It's so aching to flip in so many ways. So your work could not be more important. Speaking of which, someone else whose work could not be more important, Jade, Progress North, co-sponsored many text banks throughout Wisconsin last cycle. Can you talk about the process of setting that up and how those went?
Thanks, Jason. It's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, partnering with Field Team 6, we at Progress North are a really small rural organization in northern Wisconsin. We are hours away from any like what I would consider a large city. And I think for folks who aren't in a rural area, we are like 6 to 7 hours away for what folks who aren't rural would consider a large city. So it's hard to like reach people and get connected with people, or a lot of people, for us. And we're also a permanent team of 5. At the time we were partnering with Field Team 6, we're a permanent team of 4. And so a very small group of folks trying to reach a large area of people. And so it was really helpful to have Field Team 6. They had their list of folks and pulled it for us like they had shared. They had the script prepared that we got to like tweak and edit a little bit, like it was shared previously. And also on the point of changing the script, the Field Team 6 goal and message is to register Democrats and save the world, which I am absolutely here for. And we actually got to change in our script the word Democrat to progressive, because in our area, we're going through a moment where folks are not responding well to like outwardly naming Democrats. We are in a deeply gerrymandered state, and we're in a very purple state, and that just causes all of these different effects on the political environment. And they changed it for us, and it worked incredibly well. And I was so thankful that that was something that we had the freedom to do. They had their tools all set up for us. They had their Slack and a pretty consistent texting team that they got to bring to our work that were outside of Wisconsin. We struggle as such a small team to get consistent volunteers. And so we did push it out to our base members and probably had a few join, but a lot of the effort was actually done by the dedicated volunteers that Field Team 6 has created relationship with. And so they created their relationship with their volunteers and did a lot of that tool work for us. And we had the on the ground relationships to get across the message in the best way possible. And I think that we did really great work together. If there's anything more specific that you'd like me to share, please let me know. I was full transparently like not entirely prepared for this meeting. So yeah, let me know if there's any questions that y'all have.
That's perfect. No, you didn't have to be. That's just exactly what you thought. I loved hearing that. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the work that we did together. And you totally rewrote those scripts so that it was much softer. And it was great. It works. It worked because you know your people. You know, it's so moving to me that up in the north woods it's snowing in the background. They're in the north woods, you know, so far away from huge cities. There's this group of badasses who are just, you know, a rebel base, who can't help but that's invaluable, you know, to have people like you who can look at this and say, no, you can't. I know registered Democrats, all that. We can't say that. It's not going to work. And we're not precious with the scripts. We want them to work, you know, and you know. So it's great. I'm so glad that we have this partnership and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go over to Georgia now, to you, Triana. Thanks for continuously trying to come on. It seems like your internet might be a little bit more stable, so I'm going to go to you right now. Would love to hear about all the work we did last cycle in Georgia, which was insanity. Tell us a little bit about that, if you can.
Okay, great. And keep in mind, I may pick off. I'm here at the UN. I'm talking about New York, so I'm here in New York at the UN. Oh, I'm gonna get through this. Hopefully, I don't get off, jump off. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Should be prepared, Jason. But good afternoon.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I was worried that was going to happen.
it was so close. What she was saying, I know this from emailing with her earlier. what she was saying is that today, right now, she's presenting at the UN. Right? So what a badass, what a hero.
I think
Oh,
I
she's presenting
think I'm back. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do this one more time. It might be so, but don't worry, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I hope you all are enjoying today. I hope it's been fulfilling and you all are fired up and ready to go for 2023 and 2024. Working with, am I frozen? Can y'all hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Am I good? Okay.
Or not.
Oh.
Oh,
This
love her for keeping
is
this.
difficult. She's
Yeah.
presenting to the UN today on global feminism regarding access to healthcare, ending domestic violence, and HPV vaccine accessibility. Yes, so she's amazing. She's the president of Georgia now, and yeah, we've worked with her on all our Georgia Tech banks, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me see if I can go to another area that may be close to a window or something. Give me a few minutes.
You bet.
Give me one and I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. Should we let's
Yes.
move to
Yes. In the meantime, Jacqueline, can you please talk about everything Field Team 6 in the Union has done, and let us know what you're doing in Wisconsin right now, the Democracy Town Hall.
Yes, thank you so much. It is so good. Good morning and afternoon. It's so good to be here in this space with all of you democracy defenders. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. You could be doing anything and you are here sharing these minutes with us. And so really appreciate it. My name is Jacqueline Westman. I'm actually in Wisconsin. We are in Madison. Today we kicked off the democracy tour for the Union. But really excited to be part of this panel discussion. The Union, for those of you who are not aware, the Union is a single issue grassroots coalition of people, partners, and actions aligned in defense of our democracy. And so with Field Team 6, we get to do what we love, and that's have fun together while we can. But in all honesty, could not do any of this if it wasn't for our incredible volunteers. So thank you to each and every one of you. You all are the backbone to democracy. And that's from Field Team 6 to Progress North to just each and every one of you. I wrote out a list of the incredible work that we've done together, and I had to stop when I went past like bullet number 15 because there's so much to talk about. And so I narrowed it down to like 3 high-level tiers. So first, I think the partnership with Field Team 6 is we're very collaborative and resilient, and our partnership has created a very powerful synergy that has allowed us to achieve more together. And so that is by amplifying call to actions on social platforms, national emails, it's engaging on Slack, it's commenting, retweeting, signing up and showing up. And you all showing up here today is moving the needle. So thank you. Thank you. Another highlight I would say is our amplified impact. So by combining like resources and efforts from Field Team 6 and the Union, we've been able to make a greater impact and difference in what we call our existential states, such as Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and many more. And so we did a lot of that during the midterms, and we're eager to get to work to the on some of the target states again this year, and bringing on Kentucky and Louisiana and North Carolina and many more of the states that Field Team 6 did mention at the beginning. And then I think one thing that is really important to know is our shared vision. We are here to do everything in our power to do what it takes to defend democracy. And that is registering voters when and where we can and meeting voters where they are. And so really that leverages our strengths and our resources. And so it takes volunteers in each and every one of us, because like I've said before, and many of you may have heard me say, is that if this work was easy, none of us would be doing it. So thank you. And a few of the other actions we've done with Field Team 6 with the union, we've co-partnered on text banks, phone banks, virtual town halls for Get Out the Vote awareness, which was really incredible and fruitful to invite candidates and community leaders and members, and basically share our support for any pro-democracy candidates who are running for election. And then another thing I would love to know is that with Field Team 6 in the union, is that we're able to also join our monthly team meetings and yearly kickoffs with partners and highlight all our actions too. And then one thing that I love is if you are in California-based partnership, and I'm sure Field Team 6 would love to do this as a virtual Zoom, but we have had the opportunity to host like in-person strategy meetings with Field Team 6 by Zoom and or person. And it's just a great way to connect directly and collaborate further and on events and just like vibe one off of one another and go through your Rolodex. I mean, each and every one of us has a network and each and every one of us brings something to the table. So that's been really exciting as well. And then should I just like talk about the Democracy Town Hall that's on Saturday? Thank you, Kala. So we all know democracy is on the ballot in Wisconsin. And so that is why we are here in Wisconsin. And so anything and everything that you care about is on the ballot. And the outcome of the state Supreme Court race here in Wisconsin not only affects Wisconsinites, but our nation. And so today we're in Madison. Tomorrow we'll head to Ripon and then Milwaukee, where we're going to connect. We'll end with our tour with the grand finale as we host a Democracy Town Hall this Saturday with Souls to the Polls Wisconsin, Vote Riders, Wisconsin Voices, Next Gen America, and Milwaukee Turners. This is going to be the most fun and engaging live conversation you will ever have about democracy. If you are in Wisconsin or know folks in Milwaukee or surrounding areas, please scan that QR code, go to the link that is in the chat, sign folks up. You can also join virtual. We would love to have you all join us, and we will be taking audience questions in person and virtual as well. And we'll have free swag, coffee and donuts and pizza. But really excited, and thank you all again for having us here on this summit. And we hope to see you there.
That's amazing that you're doing that. I love that. And yeah, that's the union is such an amazing partner and so good at just amplifying what we're doing, sending volunteers if we have a volunteer opportunity, and vice versa. And also, this is something that is not mentioned in the presentation in general, but it's so helpful just as organizations to say, hey, can you introduce us to some other people in blank, in North Carolina, Wisconsin, Georgia, any state, and just trade, just invite each other to your circles, and share that. And that's just good organizing. It's good organizing, and amplifies all our power just by expanding the network of good-hearted people.
So I've seen a couple of questions come through the chat about data, so I wanted to answer just a couple of those. And then our chat team is also fielding them to me and Jason. So if anyone has any specific questions for Jacqueline, for Dr. Aimy, for Jade, for Triana, who may or may not come back from the UN, please put them in the chat with ask. But we did get a few just general questions about data that I thought I'd just kind of knock them off. We don't know exactly how many phone numbers we have for the people in your district. We have to look that up. So if you have a district in mind, a county, a zip code, when we get on the phone, you can let me know and I will look up those numbers. We may have cell phones for some, we may have only addresses for some. We have a different amount of data for all of our people in our 11 million unregistered records. So whatever you need, we will find it for you. Jeremy asked that a postcard followed by a text is effective. All of the options are on the table. You can do whatever you want in whatever order you want. It's like my boyfriend calls it the fancy hamburger, not Shake Shack, In-N-Out, the In-N-Out of voter registration. You just go up, you say, I would like to order some postcards and a text bank, and you've got it. Are there links to volunteer groups organizing in Massachusetts? We have a list of partners on our website. Please find each other. We are happy to connect you. Again, we don't have any ego in this. So if you want to meet somebody and we know somebody, we will happily put you in touch.
And you can ask us about that by contacting Kala at Partnerships.
Yeah, and fill out that worksheet so we can get to know a little bit more about you. So we can make sure that we have the right person. We have 4 people on our team and we work across the country so that the right person can get in touch who works in your state. Let's see, any other questions, Jason? Did you see anything come through?
I haven't been looking through it, but just want to add to what you were saying about, I put too many ats in there. Sorry.
Thank
Partnerships at fieldteam6.org. The question about, is it good to, I think you said send a text, then a postcard? It definitely is. The multiple touches are what get people to register. So like, really all of the above is the best. There are people who will not answer the phone, but they will read a text, or they won't do either of those things, but they will read a handwritten postcard. So definitely multiple touches and from different directions. That's the most effective thing to do.
Yep. And would we ever partner with a small creator? Yes, if you'd like to work on the back end or volunteer yours. Oh, and she's not like frozen. Yay. Hello, Triana. All right. I think you're back for real.
Do you want to try it? Let's try it one more time.
Yep. Oh, you just muted yourself again. Try one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. For it to be the UN, that's crazy. But keep going. I'll be 1 second.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any other questions?
For Dr. Aimy and Triana, and I wonder if you could speak about sort of any changes that you've seen afterwards between addressing voters in the South versus the North versus different parts of the country. Have you seen what kind of messaging do you see that's different and stuff like that? But I know Triana's. Oh no.
I'll go ahead and start. I don't know, like North, South. I mean, we're just in one state. So North Carolina is just, it is North Carolina. It's purple, it's blurple, it's burgundy. It depends on the day, it depends on the year, depends on the election cycle. And I knew that, my communications team knew that we needed to kind of take a more racier approach to getting people activated, especially people of color. And speak the language that would appeal to some of our potential, new registrants. And then also with this being possibly the first time they would have heard about our organization, we wanted to be very intentional about communicating in a culturally competent way, but also a way that made sense for us that we could stand by because of if they were to come back to our social media and to come back to our website, would they see consistent language and would it be in alignment with what we want to communicate? Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't, often the messaging that we need to get to the community that we're trying to reach is different than the message that we give to our donors, which are predominantly white. And then our community of focus might be predominantly people of color, predominantly Black and brown, Black and Latinx specifically. So I would just say, yes, messaging needs to always be culturally competent because at the end of the day, I don't want someone speaking to me in a language that doesn't really vibe with me, because that shows a lack of respect. It also shows a lack of even trying to learn about, what is important to me and how I like to hear it or hear about it. And it's just a nod in the right direction to know that someone's done the homework to be able to communicate in a way that speaks to me and my culture. And then also, just how I might respond. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
That's great. That is culturally competent. That is so important. And it's something that you detect immediately, like without even thinking about it. And it's so interesting to me that with your scripts, they got more provocative. With Progress North scripts, they got much more gentle, and both worked because they were culturally competent, because both of you did that.
And you have to speak to can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Erase this a little bit. And you have to speak to voters where they are. A lot of times I believe that DC gets it wrong, because they're sitting up and they're not, they're making laws, but they're not really listening to the people and what kitchen table issues that people go through on a daily basis. But this Wi-Fi over here seems to be a little bit better, so I can go through my what it's like working with you all, and then I can answer any more questions.
Excellent.
Okay, awesome. Okay, once again, this is crazy. I love you all. Thank you all so much for bearing with me and all of my digital issues. But it is awesome to be with you all today. And I can honestly say, I know you need to pat yourselves on the back. Working with Field Team 6 and this amazing group of advocates has been awesome. I feel like they are really the A team. In military terms, Operational Detachment Alpha Team. For the young people, they were a group of Army Special Forces that solve problems. Field Team 6 is my A team of this century. They plan, they organize, they partner, they implement. With that being said, I didn't know, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but didn't know, but I'm glad that I did. During my time and experience in working with this team, it really made my job as president easier, and especially during an important election year and what was at stake, made things so much easier to deal with. Georgia has always had election issues, and we need all the help we can get. When you're on the ground, you get a different perspective from political parties. You get the realness of what voters want, those kitchen table issues. When you know what voters want and need, you're able to do your job better, working towards building a better America. The last thing that I want to touch on is working with Field Team 6 is being on the same page with the importance of voters and the election. The support and the commitment is top notch. The trainings were very comprehensive and was always available to answer questions. With local elections in 2023, the presidential election in 2024, we need partners like Field Team 6. There are some representatives that are retiring or running for other seats, and Democrats cannot afford to lose any seat and eventually gain back the House. Otherwise, this divide is going to continue to take place, and it's not healthy for the next generation. It's not healthy for us as well. We need each other. So if you're fired up and ready to go, we can do this. Let's do this. So in conclusion, thank you to everyone in this amazing team, my A team of this century. And I look forward to our continued relationship and working with you in the next election cycle.
Yay! Me too. Thank you so much for that. That is so sweet. And I'm so proud of the work that we've done together and will continue doing in one of the country's most important battlegrounds.
Definitely. I'm gonna mute myself until there's a question because it's so kind of loud in the background here.
Okay. I also just want to say thank you for what you're doing, presenting on global feminism, access to healthcare, ending domestic violence, and HPV vaccine accessibility. That is amazing. Seriously, well, where are you from? How did they like? It's amazing. What a badass! What a hero. So thank you. Give our regards to the Secretary General, please.
I am a woman. We get it done. Not taken away from you.
Oh, that's right.
Panel. Look at the panel.
Right? Look at the. Yep. It's true. It's true.
So Jason, what do we need for 2023 from these ladies and from others on the call who are leading organizations? What do we need from them? What do we need them to know? How, other than reaching out to us, what, and Triana, Jade, Dr. Aimy, Jacqueline, what do we need from the organizations on the call so that we can keep doing this work?
I would say we need them, first of all, to reach out to us, and we'll, email us, call us. We'll answer your questions. We can set up. I know it's complicated what I laid out. It can be confusing, but basically, we are here to put our database at your service. Set up whatever you want. You can really slice and dice the data how you like. You can say, I would like a postcarding campaign to Sharice David's district in Kansas. And here's the issue I want to talk about. And we'll set that up for you in days, whatever area, city, congressional district, state legislative district, tell us, we can set things up. Yeah. To your specifications. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would say just, sign up is the first thing to do. And then connect. Another thing is that you're going to be able to complement each other's strengths. And so bringing, what I think the most important thing right now is to activate all of our volunteers in our networks. And so by combining forces, that's something that we're looking forward to continue to do. But there's each of us bring a unique something to the table, right? With whether it's our skills or our resources or who we know and what we know, there is a job to do for each and every one of us. And so as a partner teaming up with Field Team 6, perhaps you focus on data or outreach, or it is messaging, or it's graphics. There's so many also behind the scenes ways to be involved and help in the pro-democracy movement. So everything and anything.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I love that.
I was going to say, I think the biggest thing for me is just knowing what you want and being able to articulate your needs, because Field Team 6 can support you. I appreciated the early on conversations about, okay, well, what is this? Well, how is this? And I asked very specific questions and they gave very specific answers. So I appreciated that because, I'm a former teacher and principal. So I operate from a perspective of, everything is like a school. So I'm trying to, put everything in their different departments, and moving into the movement space. I didn't quite understand this space as much as I understand running a school. So it's a little bit challenging not knowing how to navigate working with partners and all of that. And Field Team 6 helped me tremendously to understand that, but then also to feel good about my questions. They never made me feel like, oh, you asked that 52 times, just different ways. We've already answered that. You provided all of the data at the time I needed, in the place that I needed it. And I just appreciated that. So that's what I have to say. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
It
makes me so happy.
There's one, go ahead, Triana.
There was a question that said what you all could do different. Move to Georgia. That's the only thing. Other than that, everything was awesome. The weekly, the calls, the accessibility, what is everything worked. And it was so user friendly and easy for and anybody that came on. The only thing that there were a couple of people trying to do it from their phone. So I don't know if there is a training or there is something that you could do different if you're trying to do it from your phone rather than from a PC. I know most of the time, all the time, I was on my PC rather than, my phone or an iPad. And so that was just one of the issues that I had heard throughout the time, but everything else kind of fell into place and worked. The accessibility, getting onto the links, and then communicating through what was the oh my gosh, what do you call that? The
Smoke, is it Spoke or Slack?
Slack, working through that where it was open all the time, and people were able to get their questions asked rather than waiting and then forgetting their questions. So that worked really well. And the training worked really well. And yeah, so I would say the only challenge was there was a couple of people trying to do it from their phone. So
Yeah, definitely. That's a good note. And we want to, whenever the technology makes it possible, make it accessible for everyone, whatever technology they have to use. So we'll look into that more too. I think I have to wrap it up because we have to get back to the main stage. There's so many deadlines today because we got so much good stuff going on. But I'm so moved looking at everyone. What an amazing team. No wonder we've won 3 elections in a row. Time to make it 4 federal ones. Also, not counting Wisconsin. We got to win right now, April 4th. Eyes on the prize. Thank you all. Reach out to us at partnerships@fieldteam6.org. Talk to your groups. Get consensus about what you want to do, postcarding and or text banking and or phone banking. Get in touch with us. We'll set it up. And that is the victorious conclusion of this workshop. So huge thanks to Dr. Aimy Steele, Jade Livingston, Triana Arnold-James at the UN, and Jacqueline Westman, organizing director of the union. Thanks to everybody. Nice lanyard. Thank you to everyone for attending the workshop. And we are dropping some useful links in the chat. They are wonderful links. Look at them all the time. Look at them every day. And
you have to fill that partnership worksheet as well. That's been dropped in a ton of times. We are 19 days away from that Supreme Court election in Wisconsin, so let's make every day count. If you get lost at any point today, we have another half of the day of panels and workshops and amazing keynotes. Just go to fieldteam6.org. You'll see a big sign at the top for the summit. We'll take you to all the Zoom links. We're also going to share the Zoom link right now to take you back to the main stage. We have amazing keynotes by newsletter writer Robert Hubble and world-changing entrepreneur Whitney Tilson coming up in 3 minutes. So I'm going to talk fast. You do not want to miss this. We're also going to be screening the groundbreaking America Needs a Queen over lunch. So it's time to head back to the Zoom stage. Thank you, Jacqueline, Triana, Jade, and Dr. Aimy. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. We will see you back on the main stage. Bye.
yes, bye everyone. See you back there. Whitney Tilson, by the way, he's going to talk about his work recently in Ukraine on the front lines of democracy and how he's helping what's going on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, please head on over. We will see you there. Thank you so much.